We went to the Methodist church down in Naples growing up. My favorite service was always Easter Sunday because it was always held on the beach right down the street from the church. And it would be my mom and my sisters and I. The first time I actually remember asking Christ to be in my life or be a part of my life was at Camp Kalakwa, and it was always a really big deal for us. We would go for the entire week, and I think that's the first time I actually remember asking Christ to be in my life. I don't think it really sank in at that time, like what it meant to be a follower of Christ and a believer in Christ and to live for Christ. I think I really started turning the corner when I was probably 15, hanging out with the wrong people and getting so caught up in fitting in with the wrong people that I didn't really care about anything else anymore. I didn't realize it until the first time I got arrested, which was when I was 26. I was 26 years old, 27 maybe. And at that point I said there's nowhere else to go but up, but I wasn't ready yet. I still was fighting myself and fighting the help of others that I wasn't ready yet. So I went back out and did the same thing. I knew there was a possibility that these charges would come up, from my past. And I still was resistant, and I still had a lot of anger built up. More anger towards myself than anybody else. But I remember my dad sitting me down, and he said, "This is your last chance." He was like, "I'll love you forever, your mom will love you forever, but we can't keep worrying and running after you." I was back in active addiction at that time, and I was like, wow, my life is spiraling out of control big time, and I'm gonna go away or die. So I really basically said, you have no choice but to go to Tennessee. The day, again, March 21st, I was transported to prison that day. Sorry. I had made some really, really bad mistakes, that finally caught up with me. Gone down the road of addiction and just fallen away. I remember just sitting there crying, and I was like, Lord, just be with me, because I kept saying, beforehand I had kept saying to my mom, I was like, sometimes I feel like when life starts going right, I just hit a brick wall and I just fall. And I remember her telling me one time, she says, don't look at it as a brick wall, think of it as God's hand saying, walk with me. But I remember that morning on March 21st, I was like, Lord, just show me that you're with me and just be with me, And that's when I really actually maybe it first sank in to me that you're going to be okay and that you're not alone, in more ways than one, but that, I had Jesus Christ walking with me through this journey, as I tend to call it. So we were pulling into the prison. There I am, shackled and handcuffed in the back of this car. And it hadn't dawned on me yet that it was March 21st. And then for some reason I was like, it's March 21st. I was like, 10 years ago today, almost to this time frame, I was pulling into the hospital in labor with Kelsey. I was like, oh, how my life has changed. And that was hard for me. It was really hard because it's not what I would have ever expected for my life, and it's not what I want my daughter to remember for her life, is that, well, my mommy was in prison. You're walking a tightrope and you're really, really afraid because you're unbalanced at the time, but you just have to put all your faith and your trust and just believe 100% that he's not gonna let you fall. Or if you fall, he's going to help you get back up. You're not going to just be free falling out there. That's really the best way for me to describe it, because it was okay if I was going to fall, because I knew he was always going to be there to help me back up. I know that the church family, she leaned on them a lot through all of this, which was comforting to me at the same time, I know it was hard on her. It was hard on all of us. But I knew she was going to be okay. You know, they were who she could lean on. Because she could tell them what was going on in our life and not be judged, you know, and not be ashamed, because they were so open and welcoming and amazing through it all, you know. But I remember thinking, I'm going to walk in this place and they're going to know I'm a recovering addict. They're going to know I'm a convicted felon. They're going to know that I've lied, cheated, stolen, whatever. You know, it's like I've got it written all over me. And I came to this church and not a single person pointed fingers. And I went to Sunday school, and my Sunday school class is amazing. And they made me want to be more open towards other people and more forgiving towards other people and more accepting of other people. Because if they can accept me and if the Lord can accept me, then who am I not to accept somebody else or to forgive somebody else? Excited about, you know, what the future holds and sharing His word and helping others. That's where I see myself headed. It'll take a while. With some hard work and dedication, I think I can get there.